Good afternoon. Today's date is April 17th, my favorite day out of every month. Some of you know why, most of you won't. 2019, and this is a Hello Rookie podcast. What up, Chris? How you doing?
I'm confused right now. I have no clue why April 17 would be your favorite day.
Yeah, that's okay. Today we're going to talk NHL playoff bets. So let's get right into NHL talk. How much money did you lose last night?
Um, I didn't bet anything on the game last night. I had zero good feelings about that game going in, but um, about $2,100 total on the
How the
Lightning.
might how the mighty have fallen. What in the world?
All that hard work during that's what kills me. Like all the hard work during March Madness, and I mean, I would have been happy to end March Madness even, but I made a couple grand off of it all and put it all on the Lightning first round to make $700, and then they do that. I
who
don't know.
happened who happened to have the best like season ever or something, right? I mean, they're
Yeah, so they had the most they had the most wins ever. It was the second best record of all time. Um, they were they had 340 goal scorers, 390-point scorers. I mean, there's no like the best team in terms of analytics of all time. Yeah, so many things went wrong for them. We don't have to
and that
break it down if you want to. I've been breaking it down for 12 hours. My phone was going nuts last night during the game.
and out of all of that, the Lightning fall 4-0, not a single playoff win.
Yep.
It is
It,
what it is. All right, what else happened in the NHL last night?
um. Yeah. So we were two and I want to say we were 2-1 because I said uh, technically what we said was the right thing to do was to bet the better team in both of the two series that had a chance to sweep, Pittsburgh and the Lightning. And um, but I said that I didn't believe it possible that Pittsburgh and Tampa Bay would both be swept. Basically by you know a coach in both cases. They were both just out coached, and when one coach is able to get his goon lineups to outplay the more skilled team. But anyways, yeah. So Pittsburgh was swept by the Islanders. Another one that the Islanders just they played faster, they played harder, they were better in the neutral zone. They didn't have as much possession, but the Lightning had all the possession in last night too, and it didn't. It doesn't matter. I guess it's quality chances, and
How do you give up 7 goals?
well, they had to go no goalie. It was 4-3, and we actually had possession the entire third period. They were just dumping pucks, and we had to pull Vaz with 3 minutes to go, and they got three empty netters to make it 7-3.
Oh, I gotcha.
Um,
How did Las Vegas do?
Vegas won 5-0. That series is over. Maybe I think it's 3-1 now, but it's over. Uh, the Sharks finally pulled their goalie. um, yeah, Martin Jones. We hinted at it, and Eric Carlson too. Like he can't turn right now. And I mean, it was. I mean, so the Lightning and the Sharks are in a similar spot where they got bad goalie play. Vasilevsky. I mean, he had stretches of good play, but he let in a lot of goals that he technically or typically wouldn't. And then both teams had basically the top one, two, three defender in the league, defenseman in the league out have been for the Lightning, and Carlson played through an injury for the Sharks, but was terrible. But yeah, Vegas won, and what was the other one we had?
Jets
Um,
Blues.
yeah, Jets won as well, 2-1 in overtime.
Right, right, right. Okay, so we have three NHL games tonight, 7, 8, and 10 o'clock. We have the Bruins, Maple Leafs, Predator Stars, and Flames, Avalanche. Um, Toronto leads their series 2-1. Um, and SH leads their series 2-1. And Colorado leads their series 2-1.
Yep. Um, all right, let's start with Boston, Toronto. Um, Yeah, that line opened out plus 105. It's currently, or the at Boston plus 105. That's where it sits still. 70% of the money is on Boston. 71% of the bets are on Boston. Um, that as far as the kind of the advanced stats and analytics go, everything's been on the Bruins side. I think additionally they're the better defensive team, the more physical team in the regular season. They gave a game away in Boston. I think that they win tonight, plus 105. Yeah, I'll take the plus money and the better team tonight with that one for sure.
Boston, it is.
Boston, it is. Second game, Nashville. Nashville has a 2-1 lead over the Stars. The Predators have been dominant in the series. I think that they've been not quite as dominant as Vegas, but they've been really, really, really good. The games have been closer than, I think it's been a 1-goal game in all three, because Ben Bishop's got a .940 save percentage this postseason. So he's basically, been the best goalie in hockey over the last month or two, and it's carried on into the postseason. And I think he has one more good game in him. I think Nashville is going to win this in 6, but I think that Dallas wins tonight at home. They were 2-1-2 against the Preds in the regular season. Obviously, they're getting great goalkeeping, great defense. I think they find a way to get to 2 goals and win a 2-1 game tonight.
Dallas
it is. And then Calgary's the other 8-1, where the 1's in a lot of trouble. I don't think it's nearly as bad as the Lightning series was. They have a so the NHL has a different set of rules for playoffs. Like in the third period last night, Nikita Kucherov is on the puck in the high slot, and he receives the puck and he turns towards goal, and the defender just two-hand grabs him and pulls him off the puck, which is, you can call it holding, you can call it interference, call it whatever you want to call it. It's not a hockey play, but it's playoff hockey, so they let it go. And that happened 2 or 3 times. We had we barely touch a guy with the hockey stick and it's a slash, and we saw I forget who it was. I think was Newski or whatever his name is, something like that, a defender for Columbus, like basically break JT Miller's ribs with his stick, and nothing gets called because it's the third period of a playoff hockey game. I don't know. Anyways, it's taken Johnny Gaudreau out of his game too. They're using a similar strategy to Avalanche are, where they're trying to keep a man on him, be physical with him even when he's off the puck. He's got 1 point in the first 3 games. He averaged over a point per game in the regular season against the Avalanche. I think he's going to step up tonight. I think he outplays McKinnon for the first time this series, and Calgary steals a game in Colorado.
All right. Good stuff. Is there any other hockey-related information you'd like to talk about?
Did you see the Ovechkin fight?
No.
He knocked some 19-year-old Russian kid out. I could not stand it. Oh my god, it was terrible. I mean, the kid clearly didn't want to have anything to do with fighting him, and it was basically he's got Ovechkin charging him. Some 40-year-old man charging a 19-year-old kid, and didn't give him an option. It's fight or hide. Like you tuck your tail between your legs, drop to the ground, and hide. And so the kid drops his gloves, and Ovechkin knocked him out cold on the ice.
Oh my gosh.
Yep.
Wow.
Something to see.
What team does Ovechkin play for?
Washington.
Wow.
So he's Svechnikov. He's out for. I guess he was out for last night's game. Is that right? No, he's out for. They must have got a travel day, so he's out until for a few more days.
So they
because Carolina, Washington should be on tonight, but it's not. So he's not playing tomorrow.
So did they ban him for playing a game? Is that what you're saying?
No, he got knocked out cold. Ovechkin's
the kid that got knocked out.
He got a 5-minute major, but he's fine.
Oh, okay. I see.
Yep.
All right. Well, good stuff in the hockey world. Close segment.
No, I didn't start segment. I'll have to cut this. It's all right.
Okay.
I can do it.
All right. So we'll just open up this next segment here
Yep.
with NBA playoff talk. You want to put together a lineup?
Yeah, let's build one.
All right. How did our lineup do last night? I saw Plumlee kind of shit the bed.
Yeah, Plumlee wasn't. He was bad, but he wasn't terrible because it was.
Oh,
He did some other stuff. We had
who? Just real quick, it was between Plumlee and was it Ford? I couldn't remember who the other.
yeah, Bryn Forbes, I think it was,
Bryn
or
Forbes.
or I don't know. I don't know, man. It wasn't it wasn't like a terrible lineup. There was issues though for sure. Jonathan Isaac, literally. I mean, I'm not gonna say he tears up Toronto all season, but he, maybe a 25-point ceiling against the Raptors in 4 or 5 games, and just disappeared last night. Couldn't make shots, lost playing time. I think he was down to like 23 minutes total. So that was the pick that really screwed us.
I see.
Um,
You want to put? So we're gonna use DraftKings or FanDuel?
yeah.
Okay.
Pulling up our Fantasy Labs workstation here. All right, so our models.
Yeah. So it looks like Bryn Forbes and Plumlee both had about the same amount of points. So it was definitely a 50-50.
Yeah, and Plumlee actually had a good start to the game. His first 6 minutes, I think he had over a point a minute for sure, and then it just dipped off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, not a great night, but I don't think it was a really great night for anyone. Okay, so Indiana at Boston, Detroit at Milwaukee, Utah at Houston. Let's start with the current lines on these games.
Right. So yeah, three total games on the slate tonight.
Yep. The Bucks have an implied total of 114. They're a 15.5-point favorite against the Pistons. Rockets are at 110.5. They are a 7-point favorite against the Jazz. Celtics 106. They're a 7.5-point favorite against the Pacers. And then you've got the Jazz at 103.5, Pacers 99, and Detroit 99.
Pretty close projections, huh?
Yeah. Well, no really tight lines. I don't know. I think the Jazz at Houston is one I would consider laying the 7. Houston's playing insane right now. The Celtics Pacers game, 7.5-point home favorite, 15.5 home favorite for Milwaukee. Milwaukee probably covers the 15.5 if Blake doesn't play tonight. I think the latest update I got was that he's lobbying to play. Let's take a look at that if that's official yet. Nope, he's questionable. He's lobbying the Pistons medical staff to allow him to play. He didn't play in game 1. Assuming even if he does play, he's ineffective. We'll have to take a look at what that does to the Pistons in fantasy terms. Hold on a sec. I'm gonna lose my headset. Okay, point guard tonight. I like. We'll take a look at what the model says, but I really like Ricky Rubio. He's a playoff monster. He absolutely owned Westbrook. Utah's last go around in the playoffs. He had a decent game 1 or 31 and a quarter in 32 minutes. So he'll see. That's kind of been the thing with him is they've been watching his minutes. I think he'll see 30 plus minutes throughout the playoffs, which generally at 5,700 will mean he's a 5x lock. In most nights will be right in the 6x range. He doesn't have like crazy usage, but you're getting assists and steals with Ricky Rubio. It's what he does. So he's got a pretty low floor. I'm not sure what the model has for him tonight.
Mr. Rubio.
Oh, where's he at?
He's made a lot of our lineups.
Yep. I just like low floor guys like that, where you're getting production across the board.
So he had 32 minutes, 15 points, 3 rebounds, 6 assists, and 2 steals on the 14th against the Rockets at the Rockets.
Yep. He's looks like he's the 7th rated point guard in our model. That's got Donovan Mitchell. It's got some crossover plays. So Kyrie Irving is actually going to be playing off the ball a little more for as long as Marcus Smart is out. And with that in mind, I like what that does for Terry Rozier. He had a miserable game one, like just terrible. I mean, it was an 84-74 game, so offensively there wasn't a lot of guys that, really tore it up. But he was really bad. 1 of 6 from the field, 1 of 3 from 3. Obviously, it's hard to get a ton of assists when your team only scores 87 points, but 14 fantasy points. He hasn't been terribly productive over the past month or so, but with Marcus Smart out, his minutes will be up, his usage will be up. He's going to be playing point guard. He's basically going to be playing the Marcus Smart role, where he's playing point guard and letting Kyrie move off the ball. So I think he has a bounce back game here, and at 4,700, he's obviously a good value. Small forward, let's go ahead and lock this in. Highest ceiling, somewhat easy matchup. I mean, you look at what he did in game one. He played like 23 minutes. Yeah, 23 minutes, 55 fantasy points is pretty insane. He had 24, 17, and 4 in 23 minutes of play. So, yeah, I mean, in 48 minutes, he's got, 50 points and 40 rebounds. That's what he's on pace for.
Not too shabby.
He's a freak. Yep. All right. So power forward. I mentioned I wanted to take a look at what. So I want to look at what the Pistons player usage rates do when Blake Griffin's out. Let's go. So I'm using StatMuse here. See if I can get it in the. And we can just kind of pull up the usage rate for the whole team. So this is with Griffin in the lineup. And then if we can specify that with Griffin out. Well, okay, so it's Jackson 24.5. Looks like Ish Smith 22, Stanley Johnson. Yeah, that's irrelevant. Luke Kennard 18. So let's take a look at Luke Kennard with him out. I mean, he's only missed 7 games, so Luke Kennard did jump up to 23. Looks like he's got the biggest jump. So with him out, it looks like Luke Kennard and then Reggie Jackson sees an extra 7% usage. So those two guys both pick up the workload. Let's take a look at Reggie Jackson here. 5,200, 22 fantasy points in game one. He only played 22 minutes. Kennard, 30 fantasy points in 28 minutes, 21 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists. Shot 8 of 14 from the floor, 4 of 5 from 3. I'm going to go ahead and lock him in. He should see some extra. Is he guard only? Oh, no, he's small forward. Okay. All right, let's look at power forward. Let's take a look at the models this time. Giannis is already in our lineup. Jason Tatum. This looks like it likes Tatum. Take a look at what he's done. First, let's see Al Horford's status. He's questionable due to an illness.
He's got that bug.
He's got that illness. Game 1, Jason Tatum, 34 minutes, 25 fantasy points, 5,600 salary. We've got 6,250 per spot. I'm going to go ahead and throw Tatum in there. And then let's get some shares of Houston. My guess is Capella doesn't like playing against Rudy Gobert. So stat muse again. Actually, let's do game log with DraftKings totals. So he's played him 3 times. He's averaging, 30, right around 33, 34 points a game. Under his average. I already looked up Rudy Gobert. He's well below his average against the Rockets as well. Let's see. Drummond in game 1. See, these guys... All right, let's take a look at Drummond. He had 50 in his last game against the Bucks. 20, 13, 4, 2, and 1. I like that matchup with Brook Lopez. All right. This is going to be tough to make work, but let's see if we can. All right, so Drummond there. So we've got 5150 for our last 2 spots.
One of them needing to be a guard.
Yep. We could look at Reggie Jackson. Again, kind of hoping and assuming that Blake doesn't play or is somewhat limited. But at that point, we've got 3 Detroit players in our lineup. Let's take a look at Houston. Eric Gordon, 27 and a quarter in this first game against Utah. 17-3-1-2, 31 minutes. The minutes is nice, particularly since they won by 32 points. Have to assume he's going to be playing a lot in the playoffs.
17 points, 3 boards, 1 assist on the 14th versus the Jazz.
Austin Rivers. All right. I like Eric Gordon. Fits the price point. All right. 5,500 for anybody on the board. Top available players: Bogdanovich, Favors, Hayward. Hayward played 30 minutes in game 1, had 28 points. Let's look at his. We're looking where 25. I'm happy with in the playoffs. He's hit 6x and he's hit 5x in. I mean, he's been over 4x in his last 9 straight.
I like Hayward.
All right, Hayward it is. Rubio, Rozier, Giannis, Tatum, Drummond, Gordon, Kennard, and Hayward. Feels like a winner.
Looks good to me.
All right. Locking it in.
Okay. And more thoughts on NBA tonight?
I don't know. I'm gonna pull up the totals right now. Just to have a peek. That Indiana Boston game, the fact that the first one was like a total of 160. I'm wondering what they made a total today. 205. So this season, here are the totals for their games: 214, 226, 243, 203. So they've been under that number once. So that'd be an interesting you can get 204 globally. So if you can get over 204 on that, I would be looking at the over on that one. Yeah, that 15 number for the Milwaukee Detroit game. I don't know. That's too much. And I'm certainly not going to bet on Detroit without Blake Griffin. Utah and Houston, 7 points after the 32-point drubbing. What are you going to do with that? I'd probably take Houston and lay the 7 on that one. Total of 214. Let's see what that's looked like this year, the totals between those two teams. Um, 189, 227, or I'm sorry, 211, 199, and 223. That's probably a good number. All right. Yeah. I'll be looking at Houston -7 and the over in the Indianapolis, or the Pacers Celtics game.
Public money's on 67% on Celtics, 70% on Bucks, and 74% on the Rockets.
Yep. Total in the Celtics game, 59% is on the over.
Interesting. Yeah, a lot of bettors on the Celtics, eh?
Yep. I think they jumped up to the number 2 favorite to win the Eastern Conference, right behind. Actually, nope. I take that back. It's Milwaukee's +125, Boston or Toronto's +300, Boston's +430, and then the 76ers are +800. So I like the 76ers bet.
That'd be cool. I like to see the 76ers do something too.
If Embiid can play, if he's healthy enough to give you 20 minutes a night, I like the 76ers bet for sure.
Mm-hmm. All right, good stuff. Close segment.
Oh, it's closed.
Good. Right, open segment.
Open.
Okay, so now let's get right into the RBC Heritage golf event coming off from the Masters. We're headed now to Hilton Head, South Carolina tomorrow for the RBC Heritage. Not every single big name is playing in it, but there are many big names playing
for the
in
RBC, it's a loaded field. They got to be thanking their lucky stars.
Yeah, well, I mean, you got Spieth, you got DJ, you got Rochambeau, slash Deschambeau, slash physics golf man. Chris's favorite, Charlie Hoffman, I believe, is playing. Kuchar's out there. Oh, let's see who else we got in the field. Oh, Molinari, of course, is in the field. I mean, that makes it worth watching alone.
Oh yeah, that's some thrilling golf.
He's so exciting, right?
Yeah.
Nevertheless, it's exciting to see if he can hold on to his leads that he undoubtedly carves out.
So we were watching with family, and he was getting absolutely shredded in the room for everything. Mike was pissed that he hit the ball straight every time he hit it. Like, it's so boring. He just hits it straight.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
And then, others were angry at the way he looked, face-wise.
He's such a nice guy, too. Like, unbelievably nice guy.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got Xander in the field again, who's talking smack. We got Webb Simpson.
Who's Xander talking smack to?
He just generally talks smack about everything. I mean, I shouldn't say smack, but you know, just being aggressive with his words.
Oh, I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
Did you not see the special with him and his dad?
No.
Tommy Fleetwood is in the field, which I know Chris will be betting hard.
No, I won't be betting Tommy Fleetwood. I like Tommy Fleetwood. I won't be betting Tommy Fleetwood.
Here's a quote from Xander. I wouldn't show up to a property that I don't think I could win at. I think my game suits a lot of different style of courses. This property historically suits sort of a shorter hitter that's very precise, putts well, and wedges it pretty well. You can sneak a few extra drivers off the tee, but you don't really have to.
Oh,
Xander's ready to go.
Dick. What? I mean, that just rubbed me the wrong way.
Everything has to be hyper polarized for you, doesn't it? I just made a simple comment. He
No, I'm with you. Yep.
he talks a little puffy. There's nothing necessarily wrong with it.
No, it's great. Yeah, he pisses me off too. Can't stand him.
Yeah. Okay. So you got any lines on this thing?
I do. I just threw together a winning lineup too, just based off of my. Yeah. So let's talk. I guess some of the favorites. I mean, for me, the favorite. So Dustin Johnson is technically the favorite. He's plus 800, so 8-1. He definitely should be the favorite. I would be looking at Bryson DeChambeau if I was betting on it, which I might be. I like so Bryson's 16-1. Obviously had a good Masters hole in one, was in contention for 3 days. Well, 2 days, fell out of contention and then had a nice Sunday too. But and then at it, right around 20-1, you've got Jordan, Kuchar, Kisner, Webb Simpson, Patrick Cantlay, Tommy Fleetwood, all in that 20-1 group. Molinari's 14-1 and Molinari's 16-1 and Xander's 14-1. Yep, I would be looking at I would be looking at Bryson to win, and then some of the mid tier guys as top 10 bets or top 5 bets possibly.
Yeah, I like Bryson. Obviously, I mean it's hard to tell. For fun, I would call Molinari to win it, but anything can happen. I don't know much about the course out there, in Hilton Head. Who does that favor? Is that long? What is anything about that course?
I didn't even look at the course. Where is it being played at?
Hilton Head.
Harbortown.
Yeah. Yep.
It's only 7,100 yards, which is interesting. It's seaside in South Carolina, so wind is obviously going to be a feature or a factor. And you figure at 7,100 yards, the greens are probably 7,100 yards in South Carolina. The greens are probably not the easiest to hit. I don't know. You go ahead and read the course preview.
Well, they break it down for every single hole.
Oh, don't do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like a nice course. Some people listen to this and be like, "Oh my God, these guys are terrible."
Well, I mean, to be fair, I've never been to South Carolina. All right, so my DraftKings lineup, I just put together Bryson DeChambeau at 10,400, Matthew Fitzpatrick at 8,500, Cameron Smith at 7,900, Charlie Hoffman 7,800, Ollie Schneider-Jans at 7,400, and Mark Leishman at 8K. That's a winner, man, right there. I'm here. Let me pull it up so people can see it in all of its glory.
Yeah, look, give the people what they want.
Yep. You're looking to cash a DraftKings PGA contest. Boom. There's a winner.
You're welcome. All right. Action Network is calling to pick the ball strikers. They also like what's his name? The guy that you were actually gonna golf with?
No.
Was it?
That was
Was it
Tony Finau. He's not in this field.
Finau? Oh, he's not. Okay. All right. All right. There you have it. DJ's the favorite so far. Molinari and Bryson close behind. Xander in the top 5. Spieth 6 so far. So we'll see what happens.
Yep. I'm glad we clipped that segment. I mean, I don't know how people could build their RBC Heritage lineups without that information.
Yeah, I know. It's really, really good, right?
It's not that bad. I bet the lineup caches. Actually, let me make sure I submit that before I piss off.
We're new here, ladies and gentlemen. So yeah, I guess for future
not that
reference,
but
for future reference, we'll maybe just go straight through the lines as soon as we get in it. When we don't particularly know what we're talking about. But all right, did you submit that thing?
Yep.
You got $50 on it?
No.
All right, you want to close that, or did you already?
Oh, I closed it.
Good. All right. Well, anything you want to circle back to? Final thoughts?
No. Great show, Joe.
Yeah, really good, right?
Yep. I thought you really brought it today. I appreciate your effort, your insights.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, we'll do it again tomorrow.
Yeah, good stuff. All right, that's all we have for today's, ladies and gents. Bye.